if you start understanding teams, you start knowing who they are, the playoffs and whatnot. We are going to go into a new segment on the show where we're going to talk about which teams are in the hunt, which teams are out of the hunt. And a segment we like to call In or Out.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
That's right. You tell him, Jim. You tell him.
Shout out to my guy Jim Moore talking about playoffs. And the funny thing about it is he actually, between the Colts and the Saints, he actually had them going. He was a great coach. Him and his son got some good years. So he brought that Saints team to, I think, their first playoffs in team history. Franchise history.
Might have been, yeah.
In the late 80s. I mean, he had that Ford linebacker with Vaughn Johnson, Pat Swilling, Sam Mills, and Ricky Jackson. Yeah. You know what I mean? So definitely. So we are going to this next segment. It's called In or Out. Which teams will be making the playoffs? Delilah, I'm going to come to you first with the first team. And you tell me in or out and why you think so. Right. The first team on this list that we'll see what they do. The New England Patriots. Are they in or out?
Man.
Or will they be in or
out? God, that's rough. I feel like I'm really secure in like the seeds we're gonna talk later on. But I really am not comfortable with these bottom seeds because I feel like they could change or just drop off completely. Man.
Anthony said you'd be like, does that make me crazy?
I don't know. I don't think it's not crazy. I don't know if they'll go in at 6, maybe 7. I don't know. I feel maybe they do. They'll take that. I don't know. If the Chargers turn it around, I think they can sneak in there number 7.
What about Patriots?
That's what we're talking about, right? The Patriots?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Chargers.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I feel like Herbert can maybe turn it around, and I think maybe the Patriots do get in with the last wild card spot.
Okay, I like that. He said, "No, Mac is legit." Hey,
I'm not saying they won't go. I'm saying I just
don't disagree.
I just don't think they'll move higher in the seeds.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying maybe 7th. I said maybe they'll go with the last. I think maybe they'll go with the last spot.
Yeah, I see them being in. All right, Nick, we're coming to you. Minnesota Vikings.
I say out, and I'll tell you why. We talked about this in the beginning of the year that we felt that only one team would come out of the NFC North, and that would be the Green Bay Packers. And for now, I'm going to stick with that. I haven't seen anything consistently in Minnesota that tells me that they'll be able to come back and make the run that they necessarily need to make to get into that 6 or 7 spot in the playoffs. There is a lot of, and there's some unexpected teams. I don't expect, the Saints are kind of there. The Panthers are going to climb back in. Those are like the bottom teams of that 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 area. And I just think Minnesota doesn't, I just personally, of what I've seen so far this year, don't think they have what it takes to crawl in there. Again, do they have some weapons? Sure. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins has played better this year. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, 18-2.
But they still come up short. They've still lost enough games where you go, eh. So to me, I say as of this week, no, they are out.
Okay. Cool. All right, Delilah, coming back to you. The Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
I know they're in the hunt.
They're currently third at 5-4. But that division is only separated by the game.
Yeah, they're not right in the current standings, like in the NFL. They're not even in the top in any of the top seeds right now. They're in the hunt now. They're no longer even. They're not even 7. That spot.
Wow.
Number 7 is Chargers, and number 6 are the Patriots. So they're no longer even seeded right now. They're in the hunt though. And I think yeah, I want them to, because I know last year was a heartbreaker, but I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think though. I think it's gonna happen what happened last season. I don't think they're gonna make it, man. That AFC. I feel for me, I think the AFC is harder to predict than the NFC. In my opinion, I think the NFC is pretty solid. Like I'm pretty sure that the top 3 seeds will be going. You know what I'm saying? Like those 3 seeds that are currently the top 3, 100% are gonna go to the playoffs. But in the AFC side, I don't know. I think the fact that people allowed Bill Belichick into the playoffs was a mistake. I think that's really what it comes down to, because I feel he will take one of those 2 last spots. Like I said earlier, like I think it could take in. I think Raiders messed up, because now they have to compete just to be in there, because they're not even. They're not 4. They're not 5. They're in the hunt now. Like they dropped off. And so and the Chargers are still in the hunt. And I don't know. I think Herbert. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I trust Herbert more. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I think that the Patriots and the Chargers might keep them out.
Could be.
I'm saying out. Hopefully not. I don't want them to be, because of the heartbreak that happened last season, but I think they're out. That's what I'm saying, David. I think y'all let Bill in, just like y'all let Tom Brady in last year.
Nice. Nice. Nick. All right. Yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Nick.
Okay. And again, this has nothing to do with my long-standing rivalry with Sidney Swinton. But I'm going to say out for Pittsburgh. And here's what concerns me, honestly, about Pittsburgh. And it's Big Ben is a big part of it. I know he was out. He missed COVID. With the COVID thing, that's one thing. But there are times this year where Ben has looked slow, and the throws have not quite been there. Yes, they're in the hunt in their division. I know that right now, given what their record is. But that tie this week, like him not being there and them tying Detroit, that should not have happened. They still should have won that game. And there was plenty of opportunity to win that game, even in the overtime. And I think this is a thing with, you've got a great running back there in Najee Harris, obviously. And you still have some weapons at receivers, Deontay Johnson, Claypool. These guys can play. We know that. But as a whole, as a team, for some reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers just don't seem to have an identity. And they don't they don't seem to have that one thing that really jolts them and keeps them going. I mean, maybe that's Big Ben. But again, if this is what's going to happen, and again, you still have to protect Ben. I know people say, "Oh, he's playing just fine." He is.
So you think they can? Do you think they can make it?
No, I'm saying no.
Okay.
I'm saying I think in the end, Pittsburgh maybe. I think they're 4 or 5 right now as of today.
They are 5th.
TJ Watt is out indefinitely. I think there goes the season,
and that hurts the defense as well. And that's what I'm saying. As a team, they don't have an identity right now, and a lot of it probably does lie in Big Ben. But I'm just saying, I just don't feel confident right today, even though they're number 5 in the AFC. Again, you're talking about the Raiders, Chargers, Patriots, that sort of thing, Chiefs, all that stuff. Still a lot of that to go. We'll see if, Buffalo. You got to see if, anybody else catches fire. If they decides to get their head out of behind.
Yeah.
So to me, there's so much to be decided. The Ravens are still, in that division in the AFC North too. So there's so many questions. But as of today, I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers making it. I'd say out.
You say out? Okay.
I say out.
Delilah going to the NFC. The New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I think they'll go. I don't think they'll go far though. I don't
think they'll go far. I like that.
I think they'll get in there. Like again, I think they'll get one of those last 2 spots like they did last season. I think they'll get one of those last 2 seeds, either 6 or 7, and then that's pretty much it. I think because if they go in at 6, they play. Let me see. If they do go in, they play Dallas.
The 6 if they go in, 3, the 4 plays the 5, and the 2
currently, sorry, it's not me, guys. I'm just saying Dallas is number 3 seed. I'm not saying that can't change, Dallas fans out there.
Right.
NOLA is 6 currently, and if it continues like this, then they have to play Dallas, right? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, and if they go in, and if they go in 7, they'll have to play Arizona in the playoffs, right? These are playoff games. I just don't see them beating those 2 teams, even though they won. I know they're like, but this regular season, and remember we said it before, once playoffs start, all that stuff gets erased, right? And now these are playoff games. And so I just don't see NOLA with their – it's just they don't have a quarterback, not really, right? See, I feel like that's the thing. Like
famous Jameis?
They'll make it, but that's as far as they'll go. They'll get a wild card pick, and then they'll lose.
Yeah, I get it. All right, Nick, we got 2 more. Nick, I'm going to go with you, Indianapolis Colts.
See, this is another one where I go, do you trust Carson Wentz to lead you the rest of the way? And it's a big question mark right now for me, I believe. I just, you see, here's the thing, too. I think if you've noticed, for those of you who've watched the Indianapolis games this year, you've seen the good Carson Wentz and the bad Carson Wentz. And by the bad, I mean trying so hard to make a play. He's throwing stuff from his knees. He's throwing underhanded. He's throwing overhanded. He's trying to sidearm stuff. Like, what are you doing? You are a veteran of this league. Why are you?
He has a running game, right, Nick?
Why are you trying to willy-nilly throw the ball away when you have guys like Jonathan Taylor and 99?
Right, that's what I'm saying. He can run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. He'll be straight.
Yeah. I mean,
we can ride him to the playoffs.
Right. Like, you have the weapons necessary. With Pittman and Hines and Taylor and even the tight end Mo Alley Cox and these guys. Like, you have the talent there. But Carson, it has to start with you, buddy. You have to do whatever you have to do to get out of your head or whatever it is that's in there, my friend. And you need to take this team by the thing and ride them like, Santa's never ridden the sleigh before. Because, that's the whole thing. And I'm going to be honest with you. They have, to me right now, given the way, I don't know. I just,
they're in the hunt, but they don't have a seat yet. They're just in the hunt.
No, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're out personally. Like, I'm going to say out right as of this point. But I'm telling you, I just want to see Carson Wentz be the professional and be the pro that he is. I don't, this silly stuff with trying to throw it. Stop.
They got a great running game. They should rely on that.
Right. You have to be able to let your defense do what your defense can do.
Yeah.
Run the ball. What does the run do? The run sets up the pass. So,
exactly. And it helps a quarterback that's struggling. So you're absolutely right. It does.
But
you say out right now, right?
I say out right now.
Okay, nice. And last but most certainly not least, Delilah, the San Francisco 49ers at 4-5.
Jimmy G.
They're out.
They're out?
I can't. I think no, I just can't.
I just can't.
I just can't see, I feel like, no, they're not. I mean, no, they're not. I say no.
Yep. And last one I'll do, Cincinnati. Actually, I think they're out. I think they're out. I think they have a lot of talent, but I think there's just in the AFC, there's a lot of teams kind of doing their thing. I think Cincinnati is kind of be like the Chargers, where they had a good start and they had a good run, but we've seen they're kind of struggling at times. So I'm all about that combination of Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase. I'm all about it. I love it. But they lost, they put up 41 against Baltimore, and they got stomped by the Browns or something like that. Look, Cincinnati, they're one of these surprisingly good teams. And then when you play one of these big name games, sometimes they look like the Bungles instead of the Bengals. we will definitely see. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're wondering, well, why didn't you talk about Buffalo? Tennessee, KC. Some of these teams we kind of lean towards. We know, you got Green Bay, you got Dallas, Tampa.
Yeah, they're all going.
Right. Even with Arizona and the Rams. That's one of the reasons I asked about San Fran, because they're 4-5. And just like last year at this time, they were just sticking around. But with Jimmy G and all that stuff, I don't necessarily believe that they can get down. All right. By the by, Roundtable has an official T-shirt. Hey, Anthony has been really trying to get in here and do all those things. So definitely hit him up because I know he wanted to get in touch with you guys about the T-shirt thing that he was doing. So definitely hop.
I will certainly take one, sir. Tell me where I can get one.
So. Definitely. I think we were going to have – you know what?